Macarons are a labor of love. It took me a year of trial and error to get consistent results, and now I enjoy passing along everything I've learned so that you can make great macarons too. I've created a tutorial playlist on my page where you can find a very detailed video for macarons, as well as videos on how to make multicolored shells and different fillings. I posted my original tutorial over a year ago, and I figured it was time to post a new one where I answer some of the questions I get asked the most. Start by making sure all of your tools and baking mats are clean and free of any oily residue. I like to wipe everything down with vinegar. If your baking tray has sides, flip it upside down to improve air circulation. Separate your egg whites and use a kitchen scale to measure the weight in grams. A kitchen scale is essential for the way I do my recipe, and it ensures that you're accurately measuring ingredients, which is crucial for successful macarons. I'm using 4 egg whites today, which will yield 30 to 32 macarons. I recommend starting with 2 egg whites while you're learning. Let the egg whites come up to room temperature. Do not use carton egg whites because a stable meringue requires fresh egg whites. Next, measure out the granulated sugar. It's going to be the same weight as the egg whites. This next part is optional, but I feel like it helps with the stability of the meringue and fullness of the shells. I add between 4 to 5% of the egg white weight in dried egg white powder. Many people have asked if you can use meringue powder instead, and I haven't tried that, but I plan to try it soon and let y'all know if it works. Just remember, this step is optional. If you don't like math, please don't get scared when I say we're going to calculate our dry ingredients. We all have calculators on our phones, so all you have to do is type in the weight of the egg whites and multiply by 1.2. That's the amount of almond flour and the amount of powdered sugar that we're going to use. Sift the almond flour and powdered sugar into a large bowl and then whisk to combine them. One of my most frequently asked questions is about substitutions for almond flour. I'm thinking about doing a series where I try out different substitutions and see which ones have the best results. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. Now it's time to start whisking up the egg whites. Start on the lowest speed, a 2 for a KitchenAid, and let it continue mixing until you see small white frothy bubbles. About 5 minutes. Add in half of your granulated sugar and continue mixing on low speed for 2 more minutes. Add in the rest of the sugar and turn the speed up to medium-low or a 4 on the KitchenAid for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, add in the food coloring and then turn the mixer up to a medium speed or a 6. Do not use oil-based color. I recommend using gel or powder colors. If you're using the liquid colors you find at the grocery store, be careful to not add too much, as the extra moisture can ruin the meringue. Continue mixing on medium speed until you get stiff peaks. It should take another 3 to 5 minutes. The meringue should be thick and glossy. Add in half of the almond flour and powdered sugar and gently fold the batter. When the dry ingredients are incorporated, add the other half and continue folding until the mixture is well combined. Start deflating the batter by pressing it against the bowl with your spatula. Then fold it a couple of times. Repeat this process until your batter runs off the spatula in a continuous ribbon. If your batter remains thick, no matter how much you deflate it, you might have oily almond flour. This can be solved by drying out the almond flour in the oven before using it. If you aren't sure whether you've deflated the batter enough, I recommend erring on the side of undermixing rather than overmixing. Transfer the batter into a piping bag fitted with a number 12 tip and pipe the macarons while holding the bag vertically. Release the pressure on the bag and give it a little swirl as you lift up. Give the bottom of the tray some taps to break up any trapped air bubbles. Let the macarons rest until the tops are dry enough that you can touch one without it sticking to your finger. 15 to 20 minutes is long enough where I live, but this can take much longer if you live in a humid climate. Preheat your oven while the macarons are resting to 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 150 degrees Celsius. Here's where you may need to do some trial and error. Every oven is different, and there can be a lot of variability in temperature between two ovens set at the same temperature. I recommend using an oven thermometer to figure out what temp you need to set yours to. I start piping my second tray about 5 minutes before my first tray goes into the oven. Bake one tray at a time for 18 to 20 minutes. You will know they are done when you can wiggle the top and it either moves only a tiny amount or not at all. Let them cool completely before removing them from the tray. Match up the shells into pairs that are equal in size and pipe your filling with a 1A tip. The filling is where your macarons will get their flavor. I never add any liquid flavoring to my macaron shells because additional liquid can ruin the meringue. I use either American buttercream or chocolate ganache for my fillings, and I have a tutorial for each of those in the playlist. Sandwich the shells together and store them in an airtight container in the fridge for 24 hours to allow the filling and the shells to develop the best possible texture. This process is called maturing. You can store them in the fridge for up to 5 days and in the freezer for several months. That's all for now. I hope your macarons turn out delicious. Drop a comment below if you've tried my recipe.